Hello, teacher. This occasion, I am going to talking about the lesson plan number 4. I am going to start with the objectives that I use in this lesson plan. Through this lesson, students will be able to make students learn new vocabulary. Another is very important, get students to practice writing. And the three objective is get students to practice speaking is very important. So next I am going to talking about the methodology and strategies that I am going to use in this lesson plan number 4. So in the methods, I use the method audio, lingual method, and total physical response, communicative, language teaching. This is my strategies that I am going to use in this this is methods that I am going to use in this lesson plan. Now I am going to talking about the strategies that I am going to use in this lesson plan number 4. The strategies is all class work or can be solo work are very important, these two strategies. Next, I would like to talking about the stiff anticipatory set. In the application of this process, I am going to illustrate to the students some slides so that they have an idea in their mind of what is going to be the subject of the class. So it's very important in this lesson plan. Continue with this lesson plan. Another important step that I am going to use is the main teaching input. The main teaching input in the execution of this process, I am going to explain to the students in details by presenting some slides about activities that friends do. For this, I am going to show the students slides of some activities. For example, can be image of boys playing soccer and some other similar example that then I am going to ask the students to open their book where they are going to have to complete the activity to carry out this work. They will have an time estimate more or less can be 25 minutes. I consider this time is enough for to do this activity. Continue with the next step in this lesson plan. I would like to talking about the modeling. The modeling is very important in this lesson plan. At this point, I am going to explain all the activities that they are going to do. For example, by presenting a slide, I am going to ask the student to draw on a sheet of paper what the friends of each of them are doing in their free time. It may be that some play a sport, others go to a concert. Similar examples to this. The another important step in this lesson plan is the guided practice. In the execution of this process, I am going to monitor the activity, that is the students begin to draw on a sheet of paper the activities that their friends do in their free time. To next, with the step independent practice is very important. This step in the independent practice, in the application of this step of the class, the lesson plan, I am going to send an extra homework for the students so they can do at home to reinforce their knowledge in order to reinforce what they learn in the class is so important. Another important step in this lesson plan, without a doubt, is the assignment. The assignment, after the student has finished with the activity, I am going to evaluate the participation of the students. For this, I am going to ask the students to speak aloud what their friends do in their free time. It's so important. The last step in this lesson plan is the closing review and follow-up. To finish with the execution of this lesson plan, I am going to reinforce the vocabulary learner from those words that are not clear about their meaning. So it's very important. This was my fourth class as a main teacher. On this occasion, I decided to teach the students some activities that their friends do in your free times, or things that their friends are doing in your free times. This time I will have the opportunity or the great honor of teaching third year high school students. So now I am going to talk about the positive and negative aspects of the lesson plan. I think one of the positive aspects in this lesson plan was the use of appropriate methods and strategies, such as the use of the communicative language teaching, which is a approach to teach secondary and foreign language, emphasize interaction as the means and the ultimate goal of learning a language by activating speaking and writing. One of the negative aspects of this class lesson or the lesson plan was the closing review and follow-up wasn't advanced, since this aspect is important to reinforce some doubts regarding the subject that the students may have. Now, I am going to talk about the positive and negative aspect of the use of supplementary teaching material. I took some slides with images that illustrate activities that they can do, for example, running, swimming, dancing, singing, etc. This in order to that the students have an idea of what each of them do. Then I asked the students to draw on a paper the activity that their friends do in their free time. To conclude, I must say that I satisfied because the students will be showed interest in the class all the time. Thank you for your attention. Thank you for watching me. See you next class.